Then we've got a question I'm going to ask you, Raquel. Someone asked, how do you maintain a healthy work-life balance? So this must be difficult while doing a PhD because I imagine it could just take over your life. So have you got any tips?
Yeah, it's just, I think what Mena was saying, just find something outside of your immediate uni group, because then it can, yeah, like you said, take over your whole life a bit. So obviously with me doing sport, that kind of gives you new opportunities. So I started swimming with a group last year, and then now I'm coaching them, like coaching another group on Saturdays. I also am part of like the Men or Two Striders. So you make so many more friends just outside of what you're working on, and then you kind of just free up some time in your mind and then in your day. Just do something a little bit different from, coming to the office, seeing the same people, and then just working on the same problem. So yeah, it's just really fun to just step outside your comfort zone a little bit, and yeah, helps you keep a good balance of your life.
Cool. Do you have any other tips, Amanda? Because you've just gone through 4 years of study, which again could take over your life. What do you do to try and maintain a little bit of balance?
I mean, I one of the biggest things for me personally is I do have a partner I very much love, and I know a lot of our people in my cohort, we all had partners, and one of the biggest things is that it's actually, I saw a lot of breakups happen because they were putting so much into study and whatnot, and I think one of the biggest things is it actually made it really easy to force yourself to take that time. I'm not saying go get a partner to get through uni, by the way. I'm not encouraging that. But even it's as simple as you want to have dinner with your family. There was nights where I probably spent a long time cooped up in my room, came out at like 11 p.m. to grab some food after doing coding or whatever. And it's like, no, make sure you do grab food with your family. Even your flatties, just be like the Macca's runs, the midnight Macca's runs were something special, and just make sure you have those moments alive with the degree. It does get stressful, but those moments help. Even if it's only an hour-long thing, it helps you keep going.
Yeah, I think your comment about your partner is really interesting because I've found the same thing since having kids. So it's really easy to come to work early or stay late at work. But, when you got daycare hours, that actually forces you to, not come to work early and not stay too late. And that's actually helped me get a lot more balance back in my life. So yeah, it's just making that time. So a question I'm going to put to everyone now. This could be interesting. What's the best part of your job and what's the worst part? Hannah, could we start with you?
I think the best part of my job, and this is a bit cliche, but it is the variety. I mean, I'm someone that I like to put myself in new situations, so I have really enjoyed my role and where I get to work with, lots of people from different backgrounds. I've done some, travel throughout Australia to different project sites, which has been fun. So overall, just the variety of people that I've met and the activities that I've done helps me, not to get bored.
Raquel, how about you? There must have been some tough times during your PhD. Can you pick just one worst part?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, there's always, I think the hardest part is just knowing you have to stop on a problem that you've been trying so hard to solve for such a long time. So I think that's kind of the worst part, is just like having to stop something. But then the best part is actually answering the questions that you set out for you as part of your PhD, being able to answer them and gain some new knowledge, which is like kind of the reason why I did the PhD in the first place.
How about you, Katie? What's the best part and worst part of your job?
Yeah, same answer as Hannah, really. The best part is the people. There's some amazing people here, and just getting to work and get the energy from them. It's amazing. It's a fascinating place to be. I also get a lot of variety, different projects, learning completely different areas. And so I continuously getting the opportunity to learn new things. The worst bit was a bit hard to find an answer for, but what I've come up with is it's probably when things don't always go to plan. So being in research, it's high risk, high reward. So sometimes things don't work out like you plan. You put a lot of effort and you're really excited about where you think something's going to go. And when it all falls apart, it can be a bit draining. For me personally, watching the team go through it. But the good thing is, you're learning all the time. So when things go wrong, you've just learned what doesn't work, and you get some ideas for how to do it better next time. So there's never a complete disaster. There's always something positive that you can take from it.
And then Amanda, you've only been working for a few weeks, so feel free to do this from a student point of view if you want. What's the best part and worst part?
Yeah, I think I'm very similar to Raquel in the sense of the downside is when things aren't working, or you know, you've got this problem and it's been a problem for so many weeks. But on the flip side, when you do solve it, is the best feeling in the world. I saw classmates cry with happiness, whereas, you know, a couple of days earlier, they probably wanted to destroy the computer screen. It's one of the best feelings in the world though, when solving the problems.
Yeah, I'll share my best and worst as well. The best has got to be a fresh bunch of students coming in every single year who are nice and enthusiastic. The worst part has got to be this really awkward period where everything's handed in and there's heaps of exams and stuff, and the amount of marking just piles up, and then we have to have all of our marking done by a particular date, and there's just heaps of pressure. And because you want to do a good job of marking, this is where a large amount of the students' marks come from, but you've just got this massive pile of reports to read, which can get a bit intense sometimes. No, that's cool. So we've got another question around internships. So just to clarify, with some degrees, there is a requirement to do summer work. And so you go on a placement over summer, you learn what's happening in the business, you do some sort of position, and then you write a report. And sometimes that can lead to a job. So the question was, I've heard of people getting offered jobs after their summer internship. How do I make a good impression? Now, Amanda, this is what you managed to achieve. Do you know what you did to impress them?
So I remember talking to my boss on the very last day. It was a one-on-one meeting, and he basically offered me the job. And he said the biggest things that made the good impression was the willingness to learn. You know, I was open enough to want to understand the skills and further my career path by learning these skills. The other one was actually willing to admit when I made a mistake and when I had a problem. So in the past, talking to him, he's had interns that are very much, they try and cover up what they've done, or they are stuck. And instead of actually asking for help and how do I progress further, they just sit on the computer for a couple of days on end. You know, they're paying us interns and the person's just sitting on the computer wasting, you know, time and money. Whereas being open up, I'm stuck, how do I help? Or I think I've just destroyed an oven. How can I fix this problem? Is one of the biggest things that actually stood out for him. But in general, it's also having the good communication and being able to mesh with the teams. One of the biggest things that they also look at during the internships, especially at Fisher & Paykel, is how well did the intern actually work with the team? Because when they offer you a job, they're not offering a job at Fisher & Paykel. They're offering a job to go back into that team. That's specific. And if you can't get along with those co-workers, they don't really want you back to stay. So it's being able to, basically, those are probably the main points I'd have to say.
Katie, I'm wondering if you've got anything to add, because there's always a big group of interns at Fonterra. Do you think there's anything people can do to stand out?
Yeah, it's probably along those same lines as what Amanda was just saying, but the things that stand out to me and to the others in the project teams is when an intern is proactive and they really show that capability to be a self-starter. So their supervisors are able to give them the general idea of what they're wanting, and an intern can take that and run with it, and yeah, ask for help. You know, go back and forth when things aren't working, but it's all around not having to be spoon-fed and be waiting to be told what to do. And that really gives the confidence that they're going to have that same capability as a graduate, and they'll be able to take on the challenges that a graduate role would require.
So, question I'll put to you, Raquel. So, studying for 4 years at uni seems like a long time. Any tips to keep motivated? So you're not just studying for 4 years, but then you continued on a PhD. So how do you keep it up?
I just really enjoyed studying from the outset, so I guess that would help as well. But I guess doing a 4-year degree, it's very well structured. So every year is different to the year previous. And so by the time you get to your 4th year, you're going to be doing independent projects. So you're going to be self-managing your time, and you have a lot of flexibility in how you do that. And so I guess moving forward, that really helps in terms of how I structure my day in a PhD work as well. So you kind of start from the bottom again, but then every year is different and every month is different. So things always change, and that keeps you excited and motivated in what you're doing.